This is a story about how a man who had been maligned by a cruel ex-wife and lost, as he put it, everything due to her false allegations, and who went to court, won, and was ostensibly vindicated, continues to be victimized by this cruel person. Johnny Depp won a large jury award for malice with intent and defamation against the other party, Amber Heard, in an 8-digit judgment. And 2.5 months after that judgment, how PR firms, fans, feminists, and mainstream journalists have worked feverishly with much success to continue to malign this man who wants his suffering to continue, and they want to rehabilitate his abuser. Let's go back to the verdict. On June 1st, Johnny Depp was awarded $10,385,000 against Amber Heard. $385,000 was in punitive damages, which require malicious intent. The jury actually awarded $5 million in punitive damages, but Virginia law has a $385,000 civil cap on punitive damages. $10 million was awarded in actual damages for lost earnings. Mr. Depp afterwards posted a letter on Instagram, which said in part, "I wish to acknowledge the noble work of the judge, the jurors, the court staff, and the sheriffs, who have sacrificed their own time to get to this point, and to my diligent and unwavering legal team, who did an extraordinary job in helping me to share the truth. The best is yet to come, and the next chapter has just begun. Truth never perishes, Johnny Depp." Truth may never perish, but there are forces who will do everything in their power to try and kill it. This post garnered over 39 million likes, about 80 times the 485,000 likes a letter posted by Amber Heard received. Heard's letter acknowledged no personal responsibility and blamed the outcome on Depp's fame and on social media bias. 80-1. At least one person in the media recognized that some celebrities were liking both Instagram posts. Kelsey Weekman, and on June 2nd, she is a reporter and published an article on BuzzFeed listing the celebrities who liked each post. Depp had 105 celebrity likes, as determined by Miss Weekman, and Miss Heard had 7. And that should have been the end of that, but no. On the Reddit forum app, there is a community called Dumois. Dumois is based on an Instagram account of the same name. The Instagram account dishes gossip, often as blinds. Blinds mean that the subject of gossip is unrevealed. Somebody was seen, somewhere doing such and such, and fans are left to guess who it was. A 180,000-strong Reddit community of the same name has also sprung up. However, the Instagram Dumois has disavowed specifically the Reddit group because they morphed, according to the Instagram Dumois, into a feminist bastion that specifically forbids Johnny Depp supporters in their rules. They're all vehemently pro-Amber Heard. After the verdict, Dumois Reddit went dark. It became private because they didn't want Johnny Depp fans gloating. That is their statement. Since then, they have made their subreddit public again. Dumois Reddit moderator Queen of Hearts X started a thread in early June listing the celebrities who liked Depp's, but not Amber's, post, and these were gleaned from the Kelsey Weekman article. Their nearly 200,000 members were asked to find other celebrities who either liked the post or had ever supported any kind of public expression of support for Johnny. And then this community then trolled those celebrities, unfollowed them, deleted them, their playlists, and demonized them in their forums, all because they liked Johnny Depp's post expressing relief at the end of the ordeal and a desire to start fresh. New names were added daily. Each were excoriated for the unforgivable act of expressing any kind of support for Johnny, who had an 80-1, again, like ratio over their idol, Amber Heard. Over on Twitter, a few accounts were hard at work on a similar mission. One such account was K4MI1LAA, or Camila, which averaged 172 tweets a day, virtually all anti-Depp. Not pro-Amber, anti-Johnny. On June 7th, barely 2 weeks after the end of the trial, the Camila account was cited as the reference, the source, on an article in NSTARS and picked up elsewhere, comparing Johnny Depp's behavior to that of Brian Laundrie, the murderer of Gabby Petito. A glance at the Camila account shows that she joined Twitter in February 2022, yet she had nearly 20,000 followers and an impossible number of tweets for one person. How did her crazy theory get traction in the mainstream press? She wasn't an influencer, was she? A month went by and Camila kept tweeting 172 Depp-hating tweets per day. Dumois is a Reddit. Dumois on Reddit spent the next month attacking celebrities who had liked Depp's IG post and adding new names they found in support of Depp. On July 19th, Andrea Burkhart, a lawyer on YouTube, had been given some $5,000 by Depp supporters to retrieve over 6,000 pages of unsealed, withheld evidence in the trial that had been released to the public by the judge, posted that she had received the documents and was in the process of uploading them where everyone could view them. She also showed evidence that she had donated the extra money donated to her from the Depp fans to charity, specifically the Art of Elysium and the Children's Hospital of Los Angeles, as the actual cost was $3,321. Heard's attorneys had argued for those documents to be kept under seal, while Depp had argued for their release. On July 24th, Camila's account tweeted, quote, "We desperately need to start shaming these celebrities," presumably meaning the ones who had liked or expressed support for Depp, just as the Dumois subreddit had been doing for about a month and a half at the point. Andrea Burkhart finished uploading on July 31st, and the withheld documents became public, or rather, were now available for anybody to read from the public. Another rabid pro-Heard Twitter user and journalist for NBC News, Tenbarge, made a series of posts on August 1st. These posts called Depp fans propagandists, stating that they had more followers online due to the monetization of pro-Depp social media content, such as YouTube videos and articles, and was essentially a clarion call for Amber supporters to do the same. The same day, Kat published an article in NBC News citing Twitter Amber Heard fanatic Raditika1, saying everyone needs to apologize to Amber based on the document release. The article cited two pieces of data from the 6,000 pages, one being that Depp's team sought to get a nude photo into the trial of Amber, and the other being that audio tapes submitted by Depp had been edited. Apparently, knowing this wasn't newsworthy in of itself, Kat went on a blistering tirade about an old case brought by Depp against the Sun tabloid United Kingdom that he lost. It rehashes as follows, quote, Some of Heard's defenders noted that Depp lost a libel case in the United Kingdom 2 years ago over allegations that he hit Heard. Depp had sued the company that owns the Sun and the newspaper's executive editor for calling him a wife-beater in 2018. A judge ruled against Depp in 2020, saying the tabloid had provided substantial evidence to show that he was violent against Heard on 12 or 14 occasions. This was a straight-up hit piece. News from 2020 that unnamed some of Heard's defenders brought up isn't news. It's misinformation. Where's the balance? Does the article mention that Heard was not a party to the case, just the star witness? Does it mention that the owner of the Sun is Rupert Murdoch's News Corporation, who also owns the radio station that the judge's son works at? Does it mention that in his ruling, the judge cites her giving all of her money from the divorce settlement charity as a primary basis for why he put more credibility on her testimony than on Mr. Depp's? And the divorce settlement going to charity has since been determined to be a lie. So I highly doubt the judge in that case feels the same way now. But that's what the article put forth. And the thing is, Kat Tenbarge knows this. In fact, Heard may be under investigation in the UK for perjury. She is in Australia. And Kat Tenbarge knows that this, but still put her name in this yellow journalism piece, right after making a plea for Amber Stans to fight back in the media against propaganda by Depp fans. Straight out of a Nazi playbook. Accuse the other side of what you're doing. It gets worse. That was August 1st. Cut to August 4th. On August 4th, multiple publications came out with various versions of the same story. So it was likely released via AP, which is how a press release is done, and anyone can pick it up in syndication using a quote by Camila. You remember Camila, the Twitter account tweeting anti-Depp tweets 172 times a day? Her 5-month-old Twitter account is once again quoted extensively in the mainstream press, this time for tweeting, "Celebrities are removing their likes from Johnny Depp's celebratory Instagram post, LMAO, for laughing my ass off." Also listed as a source, at least for the liked baseline from which to infer which celebrities originally liked the post, Dumois. Dumois is also cited in that same article. Suddenly, the Dumois Reddit community, the Twitter gang that Camila and Kat, in the original BuzzFeed article listing the celebrities who liked the post, started getting white-hot attention. Hundreds of articles were made about this non-event. What this did was allowed pro-Amber and anti-Depp information to be printed from the 6,000-page drop of withheld evidence without showing any kind of balance. If the articles were just about the release of information from the trial, articles about it would have to have some balance. At least mention this was bad for Amber, this was good for blah, blah, blah. But because the articles were not, they were about celebrities unliking Depp's post, they could point to the anti-Depp items in the release as the reason without mentioning anti-Amber items at all, because all they're reporting on is Depp is getting his likes removed from celebrities. It might be because of this, which is how it was portrayed by Kat Tenbarge, which is how it was portrayed by Camila. Bullying works, exclaimed a Twitter user on that thread. Laura B., a Depp fan on Twitter, noticed that Camila's account seemed to be a bit strange. Not a obsessed fans account. They don't normally tweet 172 times a day, 24 hours a day, and did some research on it. Her research led her to believe that Camila was in fact one Crisanta White, a recent hire by Shane Communications, Amber Heard's PR firm. This is the most likely case, in my opinion, too. Miss White made an in-depth rebuttal to the allegations, which are not very convincing. However, she probably was not the only one at Shane using the account to promote Heard in the same way that she had always done by denigrating Johnny. Laura B. confronted Crisanta, or rather confronted the Camila account, with the information that she had publicly on Twitter. In response, Kat Tenbarge of NBC, who had published these anti-Depp articles, doxed Laura B. and published her identifying information in a tit-for-tat unbecoming of a professional journalist working for NBC News or any major news outlet. There is now a Change.org petition to alert NBC News to this situation about their hire. Camila has deleted her account and moved to another one, likely to prevent anyone from putting the puzzle pieces together again as Laura B. did. Thankfully, Archive.org's Wayback Machine keeps them from forever, which is where I found the tweets are attributed to her herein. Out of 105 original celebrities, which Kelsey Weekman cited in her BuzzFeed article on June 2nd, only 12 names were ever listed as having unliked Depp's post. Cosmo, on August 5th, at least tried to confirm Camila's claim and found that the search function for the Depp post on Instagram did not appear to be working, end quote. So instead, they said that they followed the celebrities in question, which would normally show up in people you follow who have liked this post when you look at a post, and then it didn't show up. Apparently, that feature is broken on the post too, which somehow they didn't realize. I believe that they knew, but wanted to keep the narrative the preferred way. The mainstream media have been making excuses for Heard the entire trial, so this doesn't surprise me. Others found the same result and tried to explain to Demois users and Twitter users, but they wouldn't listen. They didn't post anything showing the feature worked either. This has been one big scam, perpetrated by Heard's PR firm Shane Communications, and they need to be sued and they need to be held to account. Heard cannot seem to stop trying to hurt Johnny any way she can. And she, for some reason, has the media probably top-heavy with feminists, more in love with the Me Too movement than the truth, running interference. Hashtag Believe All Women was a disaster waiting to happen because it invites some women without morals to take advantage of it. The pendulum has swung too far, and it needs to find balance again. Let's not blame individuals for who they are, but let's use our voices to alert society at large, the 80-to-1 ratio who have been compromised by this action, and set it right. Let Shane Communications and NBC News find their moral compass or embrace the abyss. Thank you for watching. I am David Smith.